The stars outside the window looked calm, but Ravi knew space was never quiet. His small ship, the Amber, floated near the edge of human space, where patrols were rare and danger was always possible. He wasn't a soldier. He was an engineer, sent to check communication lines and repair satellites, alone. That was how he liked it. But that day was different. A weak signal flashed across his screen. It was not from a human ship. The code was strange, faint, like a whisper from far away. Ravi leaned closer, fingers flying over the buttons. A known signal. Possibly damaged vessel. The ship's AI announced. He narrowed his eyes. Location, 300 kilometers west, minimal. Power, no movement. He didn't have orders to investigate, but something pulled at him. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was instinct. Ravi turned the Amber toward the signal dot as he approached. The shape of the ship came into view. It was smooth, silver, and shaped, like a winged fish. Nothing like human design. One side looked burned. The engines were dark. He scanned for life. One faint life sign detected. The AI confirmed. He grabbed his tools, locked his suit, and floated across the black space toward the strange vessel. Inside, the ship was dim and quiet. Sparks flickered near the walls. The smell of burned metal filled the air. He moved carefully, passing alien symbols and strange glowing panels. Then he saw her. She lay against the wall, breathing slowly. Her skin was silver blue, her hair long and almost white. She wore a suit, torn at the side. Her eyes opened as he stepped closer. They were bright green, but different from human eyes. She looked at him without fear. "I'm not here to hurt you," Ravi said gently. Raising his hands, she blinked, trying to understand. He knelt and checked the wound. It wasn't deep, but she was weak. He placed a translator near her ear. The device blinked and hummed. Then, finally, she spoke. "You are human," she whispered. "Yes. My name is Ravi. I found your signal." She coughed lightly. "My name is Taline. My ship was attacked. I tried to escape." Ravi looked around. "Are there others?" "No, only me." He paused. He had a choice. Report her to command, wait for orders, or help her quietly. He looked at her face. She didn't look dangerous. "Just tired. Just lost. I can't leave you here," he said. Taline tried to stand but stumbled. He caught her. "Easy. My ship is close. I'll take you there." She hesitated but nodded. Together, they floated back toward the Amber. He helped her through the airlock and into the medical room. His ship was simple, but it had enough to treat basic injuries. As the scanner worked, Taline looked around. "This place is very human," she said. Ravi smiled. "You're the first alien to see it. You're the first human I've spoken to," she said. "Hope I'm not a bad example." A small smile crossed her face. The scanner beeped. "Wound stable. No infection." The AI reported. Ravi brought her water and food. Taline studied the cup like it was a puzzle before taking a sip. "What were you doing out here?" Ravi asked. She looked down. "My people are watching your space. Some fear humans. Some want to talk. I was part of a small group meant to observe. But something went wrong. I don't know who attacked us. Not humans, no. It didn't feel like a human ship. It was too fast, too quiet." Ravi nodded. "I'll keep you safe here, at least until you're strong again." She looked at him carefully. "Why are you helping me?" Ravi thought for a moment. "Because you looked like you needed help." Silence filled the room for a moment, but it wasn't heavy. It was calm. Taline rested her head back and closed her eyes. She was safe, for now. Over the next few days, they spoke more. Ravi showed her how the ship worked. Taline told him about her home, a planet called Varelia, where forests glowed at night and cities floated above oceans. He had never heard of such things. She laughed when he burned food and taught him how to pronounce her name correctly. They were strangers, but something unspoken began to grow between them. One evening, they sat near the ship's window, watching a red star burn in the distance. "Do you think your people would accept peace with humans?" Ravi asked. Taline sighed. "Some might, but fear runs deep. Stories of war, of danger, of being hunted. It's hard to forget such things, but we're not all like that. I know, I met you. Their eyes met. The stars outside kept moving, but in that small room, time felt slower. I never thought I'd sit beside a human, she said. And I never thought I'd share tea with an alien, he replied. Talene tilted her head. This is tea. Close enough. They both laughed out in the silence that followed. Ravi felt something shift. The world was still dangerous. Their people might never meet without fear. But here, in this small ship at the edge of space, two lives had crossed, not by war, not by command, but by choice. He looked at her again and knew this was just the beginning. Ravi checked the ship's readings again. All systems were working fine. The stars outside glowed like cold lanterns, but inside the amber, things were warm and calm. Talene had been resting for 3 days. Her wound was healing fast. Her skin had a natural glow when she felt better. She walked more now and explored every part of the ship, asking questions in her soft, curious voice. Why are your doors shaped like this? She asked one morning, pointing at the rounded corners of the engine room. Human habit, Ravi said. Smiling, we think round shapes are safer in space. Talene touched the door lightly. It feels soft but strong. Like you, Ravi paused. A little surprised. Me? I'm not strong. I'm just good with tools. You helped a stranger. That is strength too. They shared breakfast, sitting near the main screen. Talene looked at the stars, her face quiet but thoughtful. My people would not believe this. She said, You mean sitting with a human? Yes, laughing, eating your food. They would think I lost my mind. Maybe they just need to try it, Ravi said. Offering her another bite, she took it and smiled. Maybe they do. Each day, their talks grew longer. Ravi taught her human words in simple games. Talene taught him about Varelia, her homeworld full of light forests and giant birds that could sing songs in the air. She spoke of the twin moons that danced over her oceans and the floating cities held up by glowing stones. It sounds like a dream, Ravi said. It is a dream. But even dreams can break, Talene replied. Ravi leaned forward. Is that why you were out here? Because of war. Talene nodded. Some leaders on my world fear your kind. They see your machines, your weapons, your hunger for land. They fear humans will one day come too close. I was part of a group meant to observe and learn from a distance, nothing more. But then something attacked us. She lowered her head. Her silver hair fell like quiet threads across her cheek. I don't know who sent that ship, she said. We tried to escape. I was lucky to survive. Ravi placed a hand on the table between them. You're safe now, I promise. She looked at his hand but didn't touch it. Still, her eyes showed no fear. Later that evening, they sat beside each other in the control room. Outside, a pale blue star lit the edge of the dark. Will your people come for you? Ravi asked. Maybe, she said, if they find the signal. But they may think I'm gone. What about your family? My mother is part of the council. She wants peace. But her voice is soft among loud ones. Ravi thought for a moment. What would happen if they knew you were here? Talene looked at him. Some would see me as weak, others as a traitor. But maybe some would listen. He sighed. Humans are the same. Some would want to help you. Others would want to lock you up and ask questions. She gave a small laugh. I'm glad I met the kind one. Ravi smiled. I'm glad you didn't blast me with a space gun. I didn't have one, she said. Or maybe I did but chose not to use it. They both laughed. Time passed. Talene's strength returned fully. Her eyes were sharper now, her steps lighter. Ravi began to wonder how long they could stay hidden like this. He hadn't reported her. He didn't want to. It felt wrong to hand her over. But things couldn't stay quiet forever. One morning, the ship picked up a coded message. It came from far off but was clear. Varelian scout ship detected in deep space. The signal said, respond if alive, Talene. Heard it and froze. It's my people, she said. Do you want to answer? She didn't speak for a moment. Then she nodded. Yes, but not yet. She walked to the window, watching the stars again. I have something to ask, she said. Anything. She turned toward him. Her voice was calm but serious. If I had landed on a different human ship, do you think I would still be alive, Ravi? Thought for a long time. No, he said. I don't think so. She stepped closer. Why did you save me? Ravi, he looked into her green eyes. Because you were someone in trouble. And because when I looked at you, I didn't see an enemy. I saw a life worth saving. She touched his shoulder lightly. I see that in you too. That night, Ravi sat alone after she went to rest. He looked at the stars and wondered what came next. He had helped an alien girl. Not because of orders, not because of duty, but because it felt right. And now, she was no longer just a guest. She was a friend, a bridge between two worlds. But every bridge is tested by weight, and soon, that test would come. The lights inside the amber were dim. Outside, a soft light from a nearby star painted the room in pale silver. Ravi and Talene sat near the viewing window again, their cups warm in their hands. This had become their favorite spot. No noise, no orders, just quiet moments. Talene spoke first. Your ship feels like home now. Ravi smiled. It's small and a little messy. It is your heart in it, she replied. That's why it feels safe. He looked at her. Her hair was brushed back, and her eyes reflected the starlight. She looked calm, but something sat behind her words. You're thinking about the message, he said. She nodded. I must answer them. They are searching for me. Do you trust them? I trust my mother, but not all the others. If they find out I spent days on a human ship, sharing food and stories, they may not forgive it. Ravi leaned back. And what about us? Talene looked confused. Us? I mean this, he said. You and me. These days we shared. Do they mean something to you? She set her cup down slowly. Yes, they do. Silence followed, but it wasn't cold. It felt heavy in a way neither of them feared. Ravi laughed quietly. I don't know how this happened. You're from a planet I've never seen. Your people speak a different tongue. Live in floating cities and ride birds that sing. And you fix things with your hands, eat dry food, and drink strange tea. Talene replied, still. He said, I feel close to you. Talene's voice dropped to a whisper. So do I. They looked at each other again, and something passed between them. Not just friendship, not just trust, something deeper. A pull neither could name. Then Ravi spoke, slowly, as if weighing every word. What if I kissed you? Talene's eyes widened, not in fear, but in surprise. The question hung in the air like a spark waiting to catch fire. She didn't speak right away. She stood and walked to the window, watching the stars as if seeking an answer from the universe. After a long moment, she turned around. If you kissed me, it would mean more than a feeling. Ravi stood too. Then what would it mean? She stepped closer. Her voice was soft but firm. It would mean a human and a Varillian chose peace with their hearts, not with their leaders. It would mean our two worlds are not so far apart. Ravi looked at her. Is that wrong? No. She said, it is rare, but not wrong. They stood inches apart now. Neither moved, neither rushed. The moment was quiet, powerful, and unshaken. But before anything more could happen, the ship's alert broke the silence. Warning, unauthorized signal detected. Ravi turned to the control screen. A red light blinked. What is that? Talene asked, already moving toward the console. Ravi checked the data. His voice grew serious. A hidden channel. Someone accessed our message logs. Talene looked over his shoulder. That's Varillian. Code. Someone has been listening. Ravi's heart sank. You think they heard everything? If they tapped in earlier, yes, a new signal appeared on the screen. It wasn't a call. It was a movement log. A Varillian scout ship was on the way. Fast. They found me, Talene said, and they're coming here. Ravi replied. He looked at her. Will they attack? Talene's face showed worry. If they think I've been captured or changed. Sides, they might. Ravi took a breath. Then we need to tell them the truth, together. Talene shook her head. They won't believe us through a screen. Then we show them. We don't hide. We face them. If we want peace, we start with this moment. Talene hesitated. then nodded. Yes. We show them what we chose. Ravi opened the comms. He didn't use any encryption this time. The message was open, clear. This is Ravi from the human vessel Amber. I am with Taline of Varelia. She is alive. She is safe. We did not harm her. We chose trust. He looked at Taline. She stepped forward and spoke in her native language. Then again, in human tongue. This man saved my life. He asked me no questions. He offered me no cage. He gave me care. And now I stand with him, not as a prisoner, but as a voice for peace. The message ended. The screen went dark. They looked at each other again. The air felt heavy, but not with fear, with hope. What now? Ravi asked. We wait, Taline replied. They returned to the viewing window. The stars were still there, silent. Endless. Ravi broke the silence. You didn't answer my question. She smiled. I will, when the stars are calm again. The silence after their message felt louder than the alarms that came before. Ravi sat near the console, his eyes fixed on the blinking screen. Taline stood beside him, her arms folded, her face calm but watchful. The Varelian ship was coming fast. No reply, no signal. Just a clear direction heading straight toward them. We said everything clearly, Ravi said. They may not care, Taline replied. Ravi looked at her. Do you think they will attack? Taline didn't answer right away. It depends on who is on that ship. Some will want to speak. Others may want to end this before it spreads. Ravi looked down. Before what spreads, she met his eyes. Hope. He nodded slowly. Outside the window, stars moved gently across the black space. But something had changed. The peaceful days had ended. Suddenly, the ship's AI spoke. Multiple signals approaching. One Varelian, one human, estimated arrival, 15 minutes. Ravi stood quickly. Now both sides are coming. Taline's eyes widened. They must have heard the same message. The screen lit up with two markers, red and blue. Two warships from two different worlds, coming toward one small ship floating in the middle. Do you think they will fight each other? Ravi asked. Taline stepped closer to the window. Maybe not at first, but if they believe the other side took me, it won't take long. Ravi looked around the room. His ship was not made for battle. It didn't have shields or weapons strong enough to defend against anything. He never needed them. Should we leave? He asked. Taline shook her head. If we run, they'll think we're hiding something. If we face them, they must listen. Ravi agreed. Then we faced them, together. He opened the outer communication line. The message was clear and steady. This is Ravi of the ship Amber. We are not armed. We are not a threat. We are holding position and request peaceful contact from both sides. No response. Minutes passed. The two ships grew closer on the screen. Then, the Varelian ship sent a signal. A voice, cold and sharp, filled the room. This is Commander of the Varelian Watch. Return Taline at once. Your presence here is a violation. Ravi answered calmly. She is not being held. She is with me by choice. Taline stepped forward. I am alive and well. This man saved me. He treated me with respect. I will return only after both sides hear our truth. There was silence. Then, another voice arrived. This time from the human ship. This is Commander Reese of the Human Defense Force. Identify the alien passenger and prepare to hand her over. Ravi looked tired but stood tall. Her name is Taline. She is not a threat. She carries no weapon. She speaks of peace. Commander Reese replied, That is not your decision to make. Taline narrowed her eyes. No one owns peace. It belongs to all. For a moment, both channels were silent. Then the warning lights flashed. Varelian ship. Charging weapons, the AI said. Ravi turned to Taline. This is not going well. Not yet, she replied. The human ship also powered its shields. Tension filled the space like a storm about to break. Ravi stepped back from the console. If they start firing, we're the first target. Taline looked at the screen. Then we must do something they don't expect. What? Speak again. But not just to them, to everyone. Ravi understood. He nodded and activated a wideband signal. This time, it wasn't private, it was open. To all nearby ships, satellites, and listening posts, he looked at the camera, calm and steady. My name is Ravi. I am human. I met Talene when her ship was broken and her life was in danger. I did not report her. I helped her. We shared food, stories, and silence. We built trust without orders, without borders. Talene stepped beside him. I am Talene of Varelia. I speak not as a soldier, but as someone who found kindness in a place I did not expect. This man showed me that humanity is not only machines and weapons. He is proof that peace is not a dream. Ravi added, you can shoot us, you can end this, but that won't stop what we already started. To people from two worlds sat together without fear. If we can do it, what is stopping you? The message. Ended. Now the decision was in the hands of the watchers. Seconds passed, then a minute. The ship stayed in place. No shots fired yet. Then, something surprising happened. The Varelian ship lowered its weapons. Energy signature reduced. I reported. Talene whispered. Someone on their side believes. The human ship held its weapons for a moment longer. Then, slowly, it also powered down. Ravi let out a breath. It worked. Talene looked at him. For now. Then a new message arrived. Not from a commander, but from a quiet voice. This is Captain Aaron of the Varelian ship. I believe your words. Request to speak further under peaceful terms. Moments later, a message from the human side. This is Captain Malik of the Earth Diplomatic Wing. We request a meeting to understand the full truth. Ravi looked at Talene. They had done something no one expected. In the space between warships, they had created space for words. Talene placed her hand on Ravi's. We're not finished yet, she said. But we're one step closer, he replied. Outside, the two warships circled each other carefully. No longer enemies, not yet allies, but no longer blind. The silence after the broadcast was long, but it was not empty. Across the space between the two great ships, something had changed. Weapons had gone quiet. Engines cooled. But tension still hung in the air. Inside the amber, Ravi sat at the console, eyes fixed on the screen. Talene stood behind him, her arms folded, watching both signals at once. They had said their truth to the stars, but now they waited to see who had really listened. A soft beep came from the console. Incoming message. The AI said, from Varelian ship. Ravi opened the channel. The face of Captain Aaron appeared on the screen. She was calm, with soft eyes and markings across her forehead. I have listened to your words. Aaron said, I have read the data you shared. Your actions are not what we expected from humans. Talene stepped forward. Captain Aaron, I speak not as your officer, but as someone who has seen the truth up close. This man is not our enemy. Aaron nodded slowly. Talene, your voice carries. Wait, many here respect you, but others do not trust this peace. They say your mind has been changed by the human. Ravi frowned. I didn't change her mind. I just listened. Aaron looked at him. That may be more powerful than you know. Before they could answer, another signal flashed. This is Captain Malik, came the voice from the human side. We would like to request a safe meeting between all parties. A discussion. No weapons, just voices. Talene and Ravi exchanged a look. She nodded. Ravi replied, we agree. Within the hour, both ships sent small transport crafts. Ravi and Talene stood at the docking bay, preparing to leave the amber. It felt strange to step away from the small ship that had become their world. As they entered the meeting chamber inside a neutral space vessel, they saw a long table. Humans sat on one side, Varelians on the other. Guards stood at both ends, but their weapons were lowered. Captain Malik stood first. This is a moment none of us planned, but perhaps it is a moment we needed. Captain Aaron nodded. We meet, not with force, but with questions. Ravi and Talene stood side by side at the center. No longer just guests. Now they were the reason this meeting even existed. Captain Malik turned to Ravi. You chose not to report the alien. Why? Ravi looked around the room. His voice was steady. Because she was hurt. Because she was alone. Because I saw a person before I saw a problem. One of the human officers frowned. But she could have been a spy. She could have, Ravi said. But she wasn't, and I chose trust. Captain Aaron looked at Talene. And you? Stay with a human, shared words and meals. Do you regret that? Talene raised her head. No, I am proud of what we shared. I saw not a soldier, but a soul. I believe peace begins with moments like ours. Whispers passed between the officers. Some nodded. Others looked away. Then, from the Varillian side, an older council member stood. His voice was cold. This peace is dangerous. It blinds us. What if they use this kindness to weaken us, to break us from within, before anyone could respond? A human officer stood as well. We cannot trust aliens based on one story. That is not how we protect our kind. The room grew tense. Ravi stepped forward. You fear what you do not know. I understand. But fear should not be the only voice in the room. Talene added, you say one story is not enough. But even a great river begins with a single drop. Captain Malik looked around. Then let this be that drop. Captain Aaron agreed. Let this meeting be the start, not the end. But peace is never simple. Later, back on the Amber, Ravi and Talene received a secret message. It was short, without a name. You have been seen. Not all wish for peace. Be careful. Talene read the words twice. Someone is watching us. Ravi nodded. Not everyone liked what we did. She looked worried. If someone sees us as a threat, they may try to stop us before more voices join. Ravi checked the ship's systems. We need to stay alert. That night, Talene sat by the window again, watching the stars. Ravi joined her. We're not alone anymore. He said, no. She replied, but danger grows with every truth we speak. He looked at her carefully. Do you still believe this path is right? She reached out and touched his hand more than ever. Outside, the stars kept burning, quiet, distant, and ancient. But in the space between two worlds, two hearts had lit a different fire. Not of war, but of change. Their voices had been heard. Now, others would decide what to do with them. The message stayed on the screen for a long time. You have been seen. Not all wish for peace. Be careful. Ravi read it again and again. Talene stood beside him. Her face calm but serious. Someone inside either side wants to stop us, she said. Maybe. More than one, Ravi added. He turned off the screen and checked the ship's systems. Everything looked normal. No damage. No sign of tampering. But still, the message felt real. We can't ignore this, Talene said. If someone thinks we are a threat, they may try to silence us before peace can grow. Ravi nodded. We need to warn someone. They sent a private signal to Captain Malik and Captain Aaron. Within minutes, both replied with the same concern. The message was not from either ship. It came from a hidden source. There may be a third group. Malik said in a secure voice channel. One that wants to destroy talks between our worlds. Aaron agreed. They may be watching both sides, waiting for the right moment to strike. Talene clenched her fists. Then we must move first. What do you suggest? Malik asked. Ravi spoke up. Let us speak at the Central Council, in front of both governments, face to face. If we share our story there, they will hear the truth from us directly. There was silence. That is a risk, Aaron said. But it may be the only way. Malik added, if you go there, you will not be safe. But I will support your decision. Talene looked at Ravi. I'll go if you go. I'm with you, Ravi replied. Preparations began immediately. A secure shuttle was arranged to take them to the neutral station, where the Central Council would meet. Security was increased. Trusted officers were placed along the route, but the warning still hung in their minds. Before leaving the Amber, Ravi took one last walk around the ship. It had become more than just metal and wires. It had become a part of the story, a place where something rare had grown. He touched the control panel gently. Thank you. He whispered. Tail and waited at the docking bay. She wore a clean robe from her homeworld, with soft patterns glowing faintly in the light. She looked strong, calm, beautiful in a quiet way. You're ready? She asked. I've never been more sure, Ravi said. The shuttle took off quietly and flew through space toward the council station. The journey was peaceful, but their minds were full of thoughts. What would happen when they spoke? Would anyone listen? Or would someone try to stop them before they even got the chance? As they approached the station, a voice came through the channel. Welcome. Docking permission granted. You are expected. They stepped off the shuttle and were greeted by mixed faces, humans, Virilians, guards, officers. Some smiled. Others did not. Ravi and Talene were led to a private room to rest before the speech. A guard stood at the door. The meeting was just 1 hour away. Inside the room, Ravi sat down and took a deep breath. You're not afraid? He asked Talene. I am, she said honestly, but that does not change what I believe. He nodded. Same for me. Suddenly, the lights flickered. Ravi stood quickly. What was that? Talene moved to the door. The guard was still there, but his face looked confused. System error, he said. Power dip. Nothing more. But Ravi noticed something. A second light on the wall blinked once. Then again. A signal. He turned to Talene. Someone's trying to send us a warning again. She nodded. We must stay alert. Moments later, 2 more guards arrived to take them to the council chamber. The hallway was quiet. Too quiet. Every step felt heavier than the last dot as they entered the grand hall. Hundreds of seats surrounded a glowing platform at the center. Representatives from both worlds sat in silence, waiting. Captain Malik and Captain Aaron stood on either side of the platform. Ravi and Talene stepped forward. Together, no fear in their steps. Talene spoke first. My name is Talene of Virelia. I was sent to observe your world. I crashed. I should have died. But a human found me. He did not lock me away. He helped me. He gave me food. He listened. I did not expect kindness. But I received it. Ravi spoke next. I'm Ravi. I am not a leader or a hero. I am just a worker, someone who fixes things. When I found her, I saw someone hurt. I helped because it was right. And along the way, I saw what peace could look like. It looks like this moment. A choice between fear and hope. Talene added, we are not asking you to forget history. We are asking you to write a new chapter. The room stayed silent for a few seconds. Then, whispers began. Some nodded, others crossed their arms. A loud voice spoke from the Virilian side. What if this is all a trick? What if she is no longer loyal to us? Another voice from the human side added, and what if he let his emotions cloud his duty? Talene stepped forward. I am loyal to peace. That is greater than flags, Ravi added, and I serve truth. That is greater than fear. Suddenly, a sharp noise rang through the hall. The lights flickered again. A loud alert came from the ceiling. Warning. Unauthorized drone detected. Possible explosive threat. Guards jumped into action. The chamber shook slightly. People stood. Some shouted. Captain Malik yelled, secure the room. Get them to safety. But Ravi grabbed Talene's hand. No. We stay. We face this. Smoke began to rise at the back of the hall. A small drone fell from a vent and crashed near the floor. No explosion. Just a message device. Talene picked it up. The message read, this is your final warning. Stop or be stopped. She looked at the council. Someone does not want us to speak. But here we are, still standing, still speaking. Ravi raised his voice. You may stop the signal, but not the story. Our story is already out there, and it will keep spreading. The crowd was silent once again. This time, no one interrupted. This time, they listened. The message device in Talene's hand continued to blink, but she dropped it on the floor. The sound echoed across the silent chamber. Everyone's eyes were on Ravi and Talene. They had survived threats, warnings, and doubts. Now they stood before the leaders of 2 worlds, asking for a chance to rewrite the future. Captain Malik stepped forward. Security has cleared the drone. It was only a message, no weapon, Captain Aaron added. Whoever sent it, they failed to stop this moment. The central lights of the hall dimmed slightly as the council leader, an elder human named Oren, rose from his seat. His white hair and deep voice gave weight to his words. Today, we heard to voices that spoke not just for themselves, but for what we could become. Some may see their story as foolish or dangerous, but I see courage. I see hope. A tall Varillian stood next. Her name was Cyrene, known for her firm views. She looked around the room before speaking. Our people remember war. We remember loss. But must we carry that forever? If the young ones are brave enough to cross lines, should we not be brave enough to listen? The hall began to hum with low voices. Some agreed. Some still hesitated. Then Ravi stepped forward once more. I never planned to be here. I never wanted fame. But now I understand something. Peace doesn't come from talks between governments. It begins when one person helps another, even if they are different, even if they come from another world. Talene added, trust starts with a small step. I took mine when I removed my mask in front of him. He took his when he shared his food with me. One step at a time, a path was made. Council leader Orn nodded slowly. We will vote, not just on peace, but on the building of a new program, a shared mission between our species. Let this not be the end of their story. Let it be the beginning of something greater. The vote began. Representatives pressed their panels. Lights blinked across the room. The tension was heavy. When the last light turned green, Orn stood again. The vote has passed. Peace will not only continue, a new joint research and exploration team will be formed. Human and Varillian, together, a soft cheer rose in the room. Not loud, but real. Ravi felt Talene squeeze his hand. They had done it. In the weeks that followed, plans moved fast. News spread across both worlds. Some praised them. Others still questioned the decision. But change had begun. The joint mission was named Project Horizon, a symbol of the unknown future that now felt possible. Ravi and Talene were chosen to lead the first team, not as lovers or heroes, but as living proof that understanding could be stronger than fear. On the day of their launch, the same two ships stood side by side, the Amber and the Varillian scout vessel, now fully repaired. Before boarding, Ravi looked out over the crowd that had gathered to watch. Humans and Varillians stood together. Children waved small flags. Some even held signs with their names. Talene came beside him, wearing a new uniform that blended both cultures. Silver lines from her people, simple cloth from his. This feels different, she said softly. It is different, he replied. We're not alone anymore. They boarded the ship together. The new crew had humans and Varillians mixed, engineers, scientists, pilots, learners, all trained for deep space travel, all willing to trust. As the ship left the docking bay, the stars opened before them, bright, endless, waiting. Inside the ship, Talene moved to a clear panel showing space beyond. Ravi joined her. What do you think is out there? She asked. More than we can imagine, he said. She turned to him. What if it's dangerous? He smiled. Then we'll face it, together. The room was quiet for a moment. Then, Talene reached for something in her pocket, a small silver charm. It looked like a piece of a broken Varillian symbol, reshaped into a new form. It's a gift, she said, from my mother. She said it represents new paths made from old ones. Ravi took it gently. It's beautiful. She looked into his eyes. What if I kiss you again? He didn't answer with words. He leaned in. Their lips met, not just as a symbol of love, but of everything they had stood for. The moment passed softly, but it was stronger than any weapon, any speech, any warning. As they pulled apart, the stars continued to shine. The ship moved forward, not toward war, not toward fear, but into a future shaped by to hands, to hearts, and the simple question that had changed everything.